What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of ResTech Well-A-Vision. Today, we're going to kind of stick with the theme of mental well-being as we've been focusing on all of May so far, but this week, going to talk about it in a little bit different perspective. So, not necessarily focusing on how to deal with stress, anxiety, depression, grief, as something I shared last week, but more so how to, create an environment or create that feeling or create a sense of appreciation to kind of promote the positive thinking, positive aspect of your peers, your employees, anybody like that. So what got me thinking about this is because I just got in the mail today, actually, was I use this product in the morning. I have every morning for apparently the last 3 years. And I got a shipment in the mail. I got a package, wasn't expecting it, and I got it and opened it up. And it was kind of like a little gift. Just, something simple, but basically congratulating me and thanking me for being committed to this product for the last 3 years and being able and, using it every day and every morning. And I can't believe it's been 3 years, but all of a sudden I just use it as part of my daily routine, and then I get this thing in the mail. And it's pretty cool. Like, it's nothing super exciting or anything like that, but the fact that this company does this in recognition of folks that have been committed to them this long is pretty cool. And it made me feel somewhat important because it's a pretty big company, and they do this. I'm sure it's all tracked electronically, but the point being is the fact that just recognizing that small victory, just taking the time to be able to share some recognition, to share a reward, share a gift, share a thank you, um, for somebody that's been committed for 3 years now, which I didn't even know it was 3 years, but they did, and I got that in the mail. And even taking a step back and looking at how we could use that within our work life. So as a supervisor, taking opportunities to recognize your employees for something they did well, or taking the opportunities to um, highlight a positive performance, or even just taking the opportunity to connect if you haven't in a while. And that's something completely different. Recognition is something that we do promote here at ResTech. We have a great platform with the ResTech recognition. It's super easy, and it's a great way to recognize employees for above and beyond effort. And in fact, I shot one out this morning to somebody. It's that simple. And obviously we have performance review time to recognize employees' performance over the past year. Now it's even more frequent this year, a new process, so it's quarterly. So we have all these platforms to recognize um, positive behavior, and maybe in the sense of performance reviews, kind of bring to light some things that may need to be improved. But taking a step back, um, as opposed to just simply recognizing somebody, which is very important, and it's something, admittedly, I'm not always the best at doing within my team, with my kids, with my spouse. Like, it's not it's a lot easier to pick out the things that need to be improved and share those opinions than it is to look at something that is good, and perhaps in your mind that's the way it should be done, but in the other person's mind, a lot of times, hearing that positive reinforcement, hearing the acknowledgement, getting the slight reward and recognition could greatly impact their mindset when they're at work, within your team, within the environment that you're setting. And it just creates a more positive feel. It creates a more ambitious employee. It creates a more ambitious ball player, in the sense of me coaching my kids' baseball teams. um, you know it just creates a better environment and a better mindset, and it creates that for the recipient. But I would also go as far as to say that when you are purposeful and able to recognize somebody for good deeds, that it feels good to do that as the giver as well. But even taking it back, so I talked a lot about recognition over the last minute or so, and but one thing that I've also tried to really focus on, both at work and in personal life and things like that, is trying to make um, connections with folks. So I'll talk a little bit about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is probably one of my I don't know. I don't do a whole lot on social media platforms, but the language on LinkedIn, as far as how you associate with people, they call them connections, and I think that is way more. Just the term itself is way more impactful than a friend on Facebook or following someone on Instagram. And I'm not going to sit here and talk like I know a ton about social media because I don't. But having those connections on LinkedIn, and terming them so, I think is far more impactful. Because if you think about friends, we can probably all attest that we have a lot of people that we consider our friends, but are they really? If you think about following somebody, you're basically just watching what they're doing. If you're talking about connecting with somebody, you're talking about that idea of creating that interaction, purposefully going out and creating that intentional interaction and connecting with somebody, making that connection. Is far more impactful and can be far more impactful than just following somebody or liking something or sharing something. You know, it's way more impactful, and I've, like I said, I've been trying to do this a lot in both personal and a little bit more at work as well, is just periodically just connecting with people. And it's not even necessarily with the intent to start a conversation, but just reaching out and saying, hey, haven't connected in a while, I hope you're having a great day. Send. It's as simple as that. And then most of the time, what that results in, whether it be a cousin on Facebook or an old friend from high school or whatever, it results in a conversation and you guys start catching up. And then, it's all good stuff. It's all positive. So being able to do that and receiving that connection is great, because it makes that person feel like they're being thought of. It makes that person feel like they're a priority in your thought process. And I will also say that being able to connect in that way and just fire off words of encouragement or just positive thoughts to somebody is very gratifying to yourself as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be done on social media. It could be done at work. It could be an email. If you happen to be on site, like some of my team members, I only see them like once a week. So if I happen to be on site doing something, just kind of pulling up a chair and talking for a little while, if you haven't done so in a long time, that could be very beneficial to somebody, because you don't know what somebody else is going through at that moment in time. Maybe just sitting down and talking with somebody or getting out and taking a lap around the walking path is exactly what that they need at that point. It could be exactly what you needed at that point, and it could drastically impact, as we are focusing in May, their mental well-being. It may be an acute instance, but sometimes those acute instances will lead to much greater impacts down the road, because like I said, you never know what that person's thinking. You never know what that person's going through. Maybe they're just having a really crappy day. And the fact that you reached out and tried to connect and just said, hey, I hope everything's going well, they may reach out and say, actually, things aren't going really well. Do you have a few minutes to chat? And then you're creating that connection. You're creating that intentional interaction. And that goes so far for both you and the recipient's mental well-being and their mindset, and being able to perhaps talk through a situation that's really holding them back from being great here at ResTech or elsewhere. So guys, I really wanted to share that with you, because I got the small gift in the mail. It made me think about that, and it kind of snowballed from there, thinking about the whole connection aspect of LinkedIn and the whole connection aspect of just reaching out and making somebody a priority in that moment, and how it can greatly benefit the well-being, mental well-being, and thought process and positive outlook on it at the very least that day for somebody, both you and the recipient. So guys, I hope you liked this one. I hope it was valuable to you. I wanted to share. It just popped into my head and seemed very important and seemed very relevant. We talk a lot about a great deal of, I don't want to say drastic measures to address mental well-being, but more involved measures of addressing mental well-being this month. And this is something simple that everybody can do, and it's something that could have a tremendous impact on one person or many, including yourself. So I did want to share this idea, I did want to share this thought, and I wanted to get it out to you guys this week for episode of Well-O-Vision. So I'll wrap it up and say, as I always do, if you like this, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you have any other thoughts, comments, feedback, suggestions, whatever you want to say to the wellness team, we are eager to hear it. So guys, please reach out. If you have any other feedback or suggest or request to see on this platform, again, don't keep that a secret as well. And with that, guys, go out there, make some meaningful connections, make someone's day, and we will catch you guys next week for ResTech Well-O-Vision. Later.